one of my students was telling me that they're going on a smoothie diet. One of those smoothie books, go on a smoothie diet for 10 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I thought maybe we could pick apart why something like that might work for people and ultimately what are some of the problems for it.
Here's the problem and why it works, I guess, at the same time. Yeah, is that with something like that, first of all, obviously 3 a day, you can only fit so much into a smoothie. So the reason why it works is because you're going to be at a probably very steep calorie deficit.
Yeah.
And that's why any diet ever works. It's why any fat loss supplement that you ever take, why they recommend a certain diet. That's why anything you ever do, if it's successful or at least has the appearance of success, it's going to be diet-wise. It's going to be because you're at a calorie deficit. And the reason why people like doing them is because they give what everyone's looking for, fast results. Going on that big of a calorie deficit at the beginning of a diet, is awesome because you get to see the scale weight change right away. And that's encouraging. It tells you that something's working. Now, what it doesn't tell you is that it's not sustainable. It's not something that you can keep up with. It's not an actual lifestyle change. It's just a temporary fix to a bigger problem.
A lot of people who go on these type of things, they're kind of aware of that. What I heard from this guy already, he was like, I'm on my second day in, and so far it's okay. So automatically that's using vocabulary where you know that you can't keep this up long term. And I think they market that stuff. Lose however much weight in 10 days because you don't want to exceed that, and you're kind of setting yourself up for some disappointment after those 10 days too.
Yeah, because for the most part, people are thinking like, okay, I'll lose my 10 pounds this time through, and then I'll just start it over again. That's like typically why people use all those. I mean, there's too many products to even call out anymore. All these different products that are weight loss products that people go through their 24-day challenge like 100 times, and it's just to basically because they can't sustain on it, so they just keep paying their ridiculous amount of money per month. And yes, they lose weight. I mean, you can go and see how many people have lost weight, but it's not because of the products they're selling. Yes, they may help you with your appetite a little bit. They may help give you a little bit of energy. You might be using their energy supplements and feeling it, or it could just be total placebo effect because you're using something for the first time and you just feel like it makes you feel great. But in reality, all it is the reason why you're losing weight is because you're following their diet, which pretty much gives you a very strict guidelines, and it's going to put probably 9 out of 10 people in a calorie deficit, if not the full spectrum. And so being at the calorie deficit for 24 days and the steep calorie deficit that you'll be in, you're going to lose weight. Now, will you look great at the end of it? I rarely see somebody that looks like I would care to look at the end of a diet. Yeah. But again, that's personal opinion. They may be perfectly happy losing, 20 pounds in 24 days.
Yeah, because I know that when you give people nutritional advice, you're all about teaching them the idea that you can eat whatever you want as long as you're aware and you track everything. And I think that's what it comes down to for whether it's a smoothie diet or any 10-day whatever type eating thing. For all these people who've never exhibited any type of restraint or self-control in eating, now that they're in a tight calorie deficit, as you mentioned, of course, you're seeing a huge decrease. You're showing control for the first time ever. You can't help but see some change from that.
The worst part about it is it just gets people thinking that that's the only thing that's going to work for them. Well, they don't stick within actual guidelines of eating a certain way to lose weight for long enough to see results. They love the fact that in a detox, in a 24-day challenge, in a juice diet, that they see results weekly, or they see a lot of results quick. There's better ways of doing it and keeping keeping it long term. So
Good point, Asher. If it fits your macros, totally.